So if you're in recovery, I want to give you this story, not about my dog here that I've drew, but let me ask you a question. Do you think I care about this painting? Compared to, let me just scroll down, to this painting. Drawing, masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. You think I care more about that one or that one? The obvious answer is I care more about this picture of my dog, Rookie, who's passed away now. There's a sentimental value in there. There's time that I put into that. And that's the whole point of this video, time. Let me expand a little bit more, but before I do that, I'm Gary, I'm a best-selling author. I go by Gary the Expert on all social media. I've got an app, and I've also got a book. That's my book. I've got another one over there that I have written. I'm also an addict that I've gone through and using substances every single day where I don't use them anymore. So this painting, what's the point of this? And this versus this painting down here, what's the difference? What's the point? In recovery, people think that all I need to do is know something is bad. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say for Coke, for example. Someone says Coke is bad and I should stop. And you're right. But Coke is bad and you should stop is this. Coke is poison and that's why you should stop. That's not enough of a reason for why you should stop. And you might say, well, my family's enough of a reason and my birthday's enough of a reason and diagnosis is enough for a reason. But actually, what you need to do is actually spend time. Now, that might sound a bit strange. I'll emphasize it a little bit more. Imagine I spent 500 hours on a painting in my mind. I would be protective of that. If I put that framed on my wall, I'd have it in a glass case. If I spent 500 hours on a painting, I'd make sure no one can touch it. In my mind, all the time I've used the substance, my brain has created this reality of where I value this. Because I did it so much times, my brain is clearly linked up, this must be a good thing. Because I keep doing it, I must value it. So I've spent 500 hours on using. So my brain now thinks that's good. It's clearly good. It's productive, it's energy, it's happiness, it's joy, it's reward, it's numbing, it's calming, it's all of these associations. And that's why it's good. And that's why the addiction keeps going on in many ways, because of their associations towards it. Not deep-rooted issues of changing. So that painting that we have there, you've spent 500 hours on using. How much time have you spent on not using? And I don't mean being sober, and I don't mean time sober. I mean creating brushstrokes for sobriety. What does that mean? Or what does that even look like? What that looks like is reflection. What that looks like is associations. What that looks like is breathing. What that looks like is journaling. What that looks like is spending time with. All of these types of things, you are creating time, thinking time, neurons time, pathways time to a new destination. Knowing something is bad isn't good enough. We must spend time understanding why it's bad. Health. Today I had a session with a client and he told me about, he used to blow his nose and this just triggered me, oh my God. He blew his nose and all this shit comes out and goes onto the tissue and I'm like, oh my God, that's disgusting. You remind me of so much bad things. Please don't remind me again. Blech. Even just thinking of it now, it's disgusting. All that crap. That was just one thing around health. But that visceral image that I have in my mind, that imagination, is 3 brush strokes on sobriety. Knowing something is good, knowing something is bad is not good enough. We need to feel, think, conceptualize, metaphor, why it's bad. Health, 1, tissue, nose bleeding. 2, what it's made of, the chemicals, rat poison, cement mix. How much would I have to pay you to drink a 200 milliliters glass of petrol? Because that's in cocaine. How much would I need to pay you to sniff some rat poison? Or concrete mix sober? How much would I need you to do that? How much would you pay? How much would I have to pay you to do that? I don't think the figure's anywhere near anything. I don't think the figure's anything. You probably die. Probably really, really hurt yourself. Really, really sick. But I think everyone has a number, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. The point being, the more paintbrush strokes we can get, health, relationships, family, personal identity, career, all of these areas, we start growing that painting, that tree over there. We start spending time with sobriety, not just time sober, actually creating a mental space of where it's obvious the brain values change more than values using. Your brain, you keep using, so therefore your brain keeps saying, well, this must be good. Or it's illogical if I don't use it. Doesn't make sense. Why do I keep doing this if I know it's not good? You already know it's not good, but you don't have so much resource. You don't have so much depth. Imagine I said to you, next time you use, your whole family's going to die. What's the likelihood you're going to use? If you hate your family, you're probably going to use very fast. But in general, you'll be like, well, I'm not going to use. And you can magically just go switching and stopping like that. Just like that. Just a concept, just an idea. And all I'm doing is asking to get that philosophy in there. And you might say, well, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. So then you start rationalizing back to the old mindset. And the old mindset is using, if I wrap up on these points, and this point might be something along the lines of that the time you spend on planting that tree of sobriety, on planting that deep-rooted philosophy of why it's bad, toxic, how it's not affecting you, how it is affecting you, should I say, compared to spending time of doing, planning, lying, deceiving. Unlimited amount of ways to do this. Imagination, friends, concepts, metaphors, associations, beliefs, topics, movies. Right? There's actually an unlimited amount of ways to grow a new mindset around it. And if you don't grow a new mindset, one client today say, it makes his life great. If Coke makes his life great, what's the likelihood he's going to use it tomorrow? Or within the week, or within the year? I would say 100%. So with that being said, have a beautiful, blessed day. On this beautiful, blessed day, it's Gary. I go by Gary the Expert. You can follow me on Instagram. That is my book. Download it, buy it. That'd be awesome. And download the app. But I'll see you in the next one, all right? So cheers. Have a blessed day.